Sebab saya tak nampak diri sendiri dekat.
Itulah kalau soalan nanti saya bacakan.
Tak, dalam Google Meet-nya saya tak nampak sekarang apa-apa. Saya hanya nampak slide saya saja.
Google Meet tu dia punya disadvantage je. Kita present kita tak nampak kita punya audience.
Oh, okay. Oh, itu dia punya cerita ya. Okay. Tak apa. First time pun kena ada cara dia juga. Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Even now, maybe perhaps lepas ni you boleh download Google Chrome extension dual-less tu, yang tu kita boleh ada dua screen. Satu kita punya presentation, satu lagi kita punya Google Meet. At least you can see who are in your Google meeting and then you can see your slides on the side of your screen lah.
Okay, thank you for the advice.
Terima kasih Dr. Fadli.
Alright, saya mulakan dulu. Terima kasih kepada yang telah admin yang menjemput jemput saya untuk talk kali ini, untuk petang ni. So saya akan share sedikit apa yang I will share a little bit of what I have. Not necessarily this is the perfect one or the best one, but I share what I have, especially on publication. The first part is about the game, and it's a journey, and then we have to find the equilibrium in the end. And first of all, again, thank you very much for inviting me, the UiTM Melaka especially. And then I'm very glad to share this thing. It's going to be very short. So I try to speak maybe about half an hour to 35 minutes, and then I expect some feedback. I will try my best to to respond to certain queries that you might have in mind. All right, so let me start here. All right, so this is a bit of my infographic, which I put in one page of what I've done so far for the past 15 years of my becoming a lecturer since 2005. The citation indexes, this is based on Google, and the rest of the information are there, my background, the award, the publication and supervision, and so on and so on and so on. This might be good way also for those of you who do not have this type of infographic. You can do your infographic in a page, so that is easy when you do when you want to promote yourself, when you want to market yourself, or even this QR code. If you scan that, you can go to my ORCID, the ORCID page to show the publication and so on, and all this information here, which is very important now in terms of talking about where we are, our visibility, especially for researchers here in Malaysia. So we have our research ID, you have this ID from ORCID, you have this Corpus ID, and then you have the Pablon ID, and the rest of it like Mandela and so on. Right, so I'm going to have 3 parts. First part is about the publish or perish, which is very much of the game that we are playing in publication. So this is what I want you to do for those of you, for everyone who attended this one now. Please do scan this QR. Hopefully you are attending this, have seen this on your screen. You can see this QR, scan it and try to answer that. As of now, I give maybe about 1-2 minutes for you to answer this part. Let's see. I want to see the live poll. What is going on? Why do we really publish? Actually, the question and the answer can be. The answer should be short, precise, and why do we really publish? Right? Help me to answer this part. Or you want to go to the homepage, or you just scan. Scan is easier. Let's do that. I already have the answer. Let's see more. I'm going to share this answer in a while, but for time being, keep on answer that before I proceed on the scan using your smartphone. Straight away go to the page and answer it. Okay. 2% answer. I want to get some feedback or to get some data. That's good. Just answer based on your own experience, your own initiative, or your own thinking, right? Do not here I could not see who actually answered what, but I only can see what's the outcome. I think some of us using this for our live class also. This Mentimeter actually. Keep on trying. Oh, we have 7 here. So we have about yeah, you have quite numbers of you, so you can try on. Okay. If I can get a sample of like 30 or something like that, that would be very good for this. It can be a very good research though, to see why do we really publish at first. I have 2% so far answering it. 13 coming up. I think I'll wait another minute and then I'll proceed with my next slide so that we're not wasting any time. You still can go in after this also to just go for this homepage or this scan if you're already there. All right. With numbers up to 15. Yeah, the numbers is up to 15 now. I'll share with you the answer later. Okay, you can either answer that in the language that you're familiar with. There's no problem in BM in English. Right, 17 there. Okay, I think for time being, I think there will be quite a good number there while waiting for the rest of you can come back here again to see this poll later on, right? So I'm working on the other and to see the poll going up. It's fun to see that part just now. So we have 20 now. I think that is good enough for time being. Move to the next slide. Why do we really publish? These were the standard answer that you can get. This one you can get in any of the publishing house page where we publish because of we want to communicate new knowledge, we want to increase visibility, we want to establish our reputation, and so on and so on. Those are the things that we supposed to do as part of the responsibility as to becoming a lecturer, right? This I adopted and is by chief editor-in-chief for Journal Mechanical Engineering and Sciences. Is actually from my UMP. This is what the editor written in one of the slides when we have a meeting some few years back. Says we publish this because of our KPI, because of our yearly appraisal, because for promotion, pay for performance. The more we publish, maybe this increment in terms of a salary, year-end bonus, maybe not for public university. Number 5 day, we still do not have this kind of option, although it's written there, and certain other things, right? Related to that, we publish because of recognition, international recognition. The more we publish, the more people know us, and then you might get more grant, you might get more students, you might get an award, and everything else. Right? I'll share the outcome from the live poll in a while. Okay. So basically, what I can say that I straight away to the point where when we talk about the publish or perish. So our job or our responsibility as a lecturer, other than teaching and learning, other than other parts of that, we also do research and part of the amanah yang diberi. So part of it is how we could craft a research paper so that it become interesting, so that it become publishable, not just because we publish just because for the KPI. Yes, for the ranking, Yes, we might do that for the university force us actually to publish or required to have certain numbers. It's a numbers game, right? It's a game of numbers. So that's why I call it game, the first part day game, right? So how do we craft a research paper? So basically, the research paper should be a solid one, an interesting, attractive introduction. Attractive, certainly before introduction, you must have the title first. And then to attract the journal editor, to attract the audience later, and attract the reviewers too. So I look at that, this is from the perspective of an author, right? Crafting a research paper, it must be solid, interesting, attractive introduction, unique data set. This one I'll share a little bit in a few slides later. Well explained, motivated. Unique data set can be something that is unique in the sense that that's where we always say that our research is novel. So what's the novelty? Novelty means, novelty for me always means something new. But new does not mean that entirely new. New means something you added up, your innovation, your creativity to the research that is already available there. So if the research look at one perspective, you look at the other perspective. So, but it certainly must be motivated, well motivated. A good presentation, discussion, or result, it must be linked to the theory, linked to the findings, and table is self-explanatory, solid set of empirical, robust tests if you do empirical work, statistical work. Even if you do qualitative work, it must have a certain types of robustness test, although not in terms of statistical. Means that you can do further analysis, not just one analysis. You settle that. Most of the journal article, journal editors now look for robustness test, look for what you can do, what a little bit more that you can do, differentiate you from the other normal papers that publish, right? Do not ignore the importance of abstract, certainly, and conclusion. What is new, the approach, the result, the motivation, the conclusion, what I can learn. And last part, there is localized issue with international appeal. This is rather interesting. We always try to publish a paper on Malaysia, for example, or some would say that, oh no, Malaysia, one country's case study is not enough. So we should go Asian, we should go developing countries, we should go a little bit bigger picture. Not necessary. Sometimes localized issue is very interesting if you can bring up the international appeal, right? This part of it also part of the research diagram or publication might not be new for you. I just share this. We can read, write, discuss, present, submit, and then we wait patiently. And then revise the paper maybe at least 20 times or more. Sometimes we get less, sometimes we get more. It's a journey and also part of the game, right? And this for example, as I told you just now, localized issue with international appeal. So I share with you some of my my publication. This is one in one journal called Social Indicator Research, published in 2009. This actually is about what we often do every year, every semester, in out. I'm sure every university do this, where the student evaluate our performance in the class. So I link this paper to look into the instructor performance, and also added up certain other things like physical attractiveness and psychological factors, right? I put in my friends from researchers from Malaysia and one from Italy. And then this case study is actually a case study for Unimas, in fact, for my faculty. And we bring up the localized issue, but we write it in internationally and submit into a journal. This is not the first time. I think I submitted 4 journals rejected, and finally find a home for this paper, finally. Right, so this is also from the work of my student, actually. Right, this is another one, not by my paper, but by numbers of my friends here. Maybe some of you know the name inside here. I talk about ethnic food, especially focusing on the Dayak food here in Sarawak. So, and it bring up to to a very good journal in tourism, called Tourism Management. Publishing in this journal will be another an honor, I think. Certainly an honor. So the issue is very localized: diet, food, consumption, intention, and then linked to tourism destination. Interesting. And it's published also in 2019. A localized issue. Another localized issue, which I published it some time ago in 2013 in a journal called International Food Research Journal, UPM. Now is also an impact factor journal. Few years back it's not. When I published, it's a Scopus journal. Now it's an impact factor. Talks about food trade, export import of food for Sarawak, for a state in Sarawak. So a very localized issue, but try to bring up to quite in international journal, international recognized journal, related to food research, right? Another one here also, this is a study on Malaysia, talks about fiscal sustainability, again with my ex-supervisor, Prof. Ahmad Zubaidi, Prof. Emeritus actually, Ahmad Zubaidi. So published in the Journal of Policy Modeling, which is one of the top journal also in economics, 2017, a case of Malaysia, right? One country, one case, not looking into developing country, but just one country based study, and it can publish up to that part. And we have tried a few other journals before we tried this journal in the end, and luckily that the issue been accepted, or the paper been accepted here. We calculate the issue of fiscal policy of the debt threshold that's available for Malaysia, right? The last one here, I think, last one I'll share with you is something on inbound medical tourism. On medical tourism, this one is a case study of Malaysia, and it's published in a journal, the Tourism Journal, International Journal of Tourism Studies, if I'm not. Yeah, this journal with my friend from USM. So again, this is about Malaysia, one country study, and published in good journal. Right. So here again, after I show that localized issue, which can bring up to international appeal, I come up with this. Me and some of my friends previously. We come up with this kind of model, publication model. Where are we? What are we doing? Actually, what kind of game that we are playing, in, especially in publication? What kind of model that we are using? Are we using the roulette table model? Roulette is just you try. It's just you try error, right? You try this journal or no, try that journal or no, right? These are few models that we identified in terms of publication. The second model will be on social influence model. You have good relationship with the editor, right? So they say, editor, tolonglah publish paper saya, that kind of thing. You have very good relationship with that. Third one, you have a guru co-author, very good co-author, a big name in the field, right? A big name in the field which you co-author with, which you penetrate the journal. That can be a model for us, the connection or the collaboration. Or the paper got published is because of the intrinsic quality of the paper itself, the research itself, the paper itself. All right. On number 5, sometimes we send to a journal which doesn't fit the journal mission. The journal is to publish this type of journal, but you send this type of journal. That's why it's been rejected, right? And also it fit in. Now, number 6, it got published is because of the status of the journal, right? Also the status we send is because of the status. So it's the game that the model that we can use. And the co-authors, this one very much related to number 3. The co-authors, not only guru, but our co-authors matters. Sometimes some journals might look at, they want to have an international appeal of the co-authorship, right? This also part of the model, the game that you can use. And the last one here, pay to publish. It depends. Now most of the journal, including local Malaysian journal, do have acceptance fees, right? It depends on how you see the kind of pay to publish kind of thing, right? So after you've read the paper, everything, the journey, and the game that we are playing, now we are off to the journey. How to choose a journal? There's a matching problem, which is part of the equilibrium that I'm talking about, right? Honest evaluation, of course, start high, but not all babies can become president or prime minister. Start high, then go a little bit low, but you read, you know what way to go, right? Yeah, way to go the journal, and then after that you wait. You wait, maybe hopefully not becoming skeleton like this. Not some journals, like my own experience, I've been waited for more than 2 years just to publish a paper. It's not an ISI impact factor journal. It's a Scopus journal. But the waiting time is 2 years. All right, so it depends on the journal. Sometimes there's a change inside the journal, or there's some other issues in the journal. The part 2 here talks about from the journal perspective. Yep. So when the journal challenges, right? This is the challenges. This one's supposed to be at the last part, but it's okay. The challenges of the journal, once you choose the journal, but you have to, the journal also has some challenges, especially. I'm talking about this as the perspective of managing editor of the International Journal of Business and Society. We have challenges, not only we, most of the journal have these kind of challenges. This from the survey also that asked around. We have influx of submission, means that there's always supply. There's always there's always demand. What the supply means that the journal space might not be enough for us, for the journal. The journal also concerned about ranking, concerned about the index. And I'll share with you some of this at the last part later. The journal also now concerned about financial sustainability. Cost of managing journal might not be cheap, depending on how we look at it. Some journals still do printing, hard copy. Some go 100% E. So even it's E, you still have to maintain the homepage and so on if it's not under the university. So sustainability to sustain the journal. All right, so these are the concerns here. The citation, which is related to ranking. Citation is important. All right. Also, the Scopus just come out with their 2019 site score for the journal, which ranked the journal. Yeah, publishing trend. So I think as of now, the publishing trend is all about COVID-19 and impact towards any of our field. COVID-19 and business, COVID-19 and economic, COVID-19 and in accounting, COVID-19 and all the other field. Right? That's maybe the trend now for the journal. That's why some journal have special issue, talks about COVID-19. Number 6, you know, the university itself might have their own KPI. They say, help the KPI of the journal. I mean, kept the KPI of the university, right? This number 7 here, like what we do, our experience in IJBS, we have smart partnership with the international and local conferences, right? Which works well actually, which have more demand. It's a free promotion for the journal actually. We are very grateful for that. The other part, the challenges is that on editors recognition and journal management, which is, yeah, some would say that it's easy to manage a journal, but it takes quite some time to manage a journal. From my experience also, I would say that journal management is like you're managing a conference non-stop. At least for a conference, for that particular year, you stop that particular year or next year. But this journal never stops. Paper keep coming in anytime, right? And the recognition, yeah, certainly. Certain universities give a kind of recognition, but not every university, not every is being recognized. No one knows. It's not been recognized. But these our ministry also have given the recognition for the journal, which you which journal ranking, citation, and give some award to them, which is under the cream award, right? Good reviewers is always not easy to find for a journal, but thanks now we have Pablon and some other platform, we can find very good reviewers. Pablon also, yes, once you send, and then sometimes you get rejection. The word that I use is keep trying. Get used, keep trying. You send today, tomorrow you get rejected. You send today, 6 months down the road, you get rejected. You send today, 1 year down the road, the editor with the report says that the paper got rejected. Oh, you're so frustrated. And then you try again. So that might be a little bit of frustration, but 2-3 days you're frustrated, but get back, come back stronger. Come back stronger. This is example that from PhDcomic.com, a rejection letter that some editors might use, right? That is the second part, the journal challenges. The third part, which I'm going to share, finding the equilibrium. So you have your paper, you have the journal. Now you find the most suitable one, the most suitable one to find the equilibrium, right? It's like finding our significant others. Like finding our significant others is not an easy job, right? It's not an easy job. This to share only also with you, certainly, which I think everyone knows that why a paper got rejected. These are several of other things from the editor's point of view, because of lack of motivation, because no sufficient contribution, it's poorly written, the flow is not well, not proper methodology, not sufficient knowledge, not interesting, not current, and it's not supported. So those are all several things that you might taking care. I also always remind myself on that, right? Select the right journal. It's like finding our husband and wife, right? Which is not an easy job to pursue our research career, to become a lecturer, all-rounded lecturer, right? So what comes first when we select a journal? Whether we target the journal or you write you write it first and then you find the journal. There's always these two things. Either you target, you write accordingly to the journal format straight away, to the journal style, or you write the paper first and you find it, right? Either way, it works. But it depends on what is our objective. What we want to do for that particular research, right? Alternative is certainly we go conference, meet people, and then get some feedback. Look at the journal you read and the source of the reference. Maybe you want to try that particular journal in the reference. This one, the last part here, publish on failures too. Sometimes you estimate or in terms of empirical work, you get some negative result, or maybe the result that not supporting the theory. Well, or you think that this is a bad result. This result do not support anything that I do. Sometimes that part of it is becoming the highlight that can publish high. You'll be surprised. The most simplest paper might go very high rather than most sophisticated paper, right? I mean, in a way of writing. Okay, certainly this one is another good advice for all of us, including myself. Always collaborate with our supervisor, colleagues, friends that we meet, present in conference. If you have poster presentation, do some poster, put your infographic just now, promote yourself, market yourself, use social networking, right? Talks to editors, not necessarily be a friend, be a good friend, but we still maintain that kind of professionalism. If I send a paper, not necessarily to publish mine, but look at it. If it's good, publish. If it's not good, please, by all means, reject. That kind of professionalism, right? Yeah, you can write the working papers for start. Certainly, most of us have our university website. If not, you have your own website too. Make yourself known, market yourself, do all the things. Now it's time, certainly, to do that easily. Now we have this kind of a webinar. This is one way of making our name known also, right? I always also have this thing that remind myself also is if you want to write an article, first of all, you must read, explore the literature, and then do not write a murder mystery. It's a very mystery, up and down. It's like, up to the introduction, it seems like it's going nowhere with that, right? So adopt the KISS method. KISS method for me, this is the 3 golden rule. First, read. Do not write as adopt the KISS method. KISS It's a short form for me. It's a keep it simple and sexy. Keep the paper simple and sexy. Make sure it's simple. Everyone who read that would be able to understand. If can, which I seldom do, after you finish up a paper, ask your husband or wife read, or your kid read the paper. Ask your kids, ask your wife, ask your husband, read your paper. Comment. Ask them to comment. It's like, if they say, what is this? Then maybe we should keep our tone down sometimes. Too much academic bombastic words inside there, jargons inside there. Right? But then again, depending on what journal that you're submitting to. Right? Do not rush for article for publication. Certainly, if I say that do not rush, then everyone will say, oh, this KPI, end of the year KPI. Everyone have to fulfill that requirement. Select the right journal. Finding the journal is not an easy job too sometimes. Right? Moving forward, I'm moving in the end of my slides here. I just use this word. We are from MCO, more collaborative opportunity, to CMCO, certainly more collaborative opportunity. And now in the RMCO time, we have to do more research and more collaborative opportunity. Collaborative in the sense, for example, like this, I'm presenting this sharing in the sense of webinar to those who attended that, specifically for the UiTM Malacca campus. I hope to get more collaborative opportunity too in the future from time being, in a way also promoting myself. So move from MCO to CMCO to RMCO, the abbreviation behind the word that I believe in. Right? So writing is a lifelong journey, certainly. Do not stop writing. Even though we only write one sentence a day, that might be good enough than not writing anything in a day, right? Just to share with you, this is the IJBS. We are in Q3. This thing just come out yesterday, the SJR, which is we have increased to 0.2. We are indexed in all these major indexes in that we can be recognized with, right? This also promote this special issue, which guest editor by myself, Dr. Tang from USM, Dr. Abdul Rahim from UiTM, and Dr. Irwan from Indonesia. We have this special issue in the International Journal of Economic Policy and Emerging Economics, talks about COVID-19. Right? The due date is 15th of December. This is the link. Certainly, you can get the slides. I already give to the organizer. These are the subject coverage. Although it's focused on economics, but it can talks about business, financial impact, but focusing on emerging economics. These are things that might be focusing on, right? Okay, this one I just summarized this morning when I look at this. These are several journals that is in Malaysia that is very much related in my field, in economics, business, finance especially, very much related. Also social science in that sense. This I put this in terms of site score ranking. Here, this is the latest one, 2019 score from 1.3. This is USM journal. This is UKM journal. This is UM journal. This is UPM journal. Right. Number 5. Oh, sorry. Yeah, number 5 there is UM journal, Malaysian Journal of Economic Studies. Number 6 is also UM. Number 7 is ours, Unimas here. Number 8 there is UMT journal. Number 9 there is actually USM journal too, the sister journal of the first one just now. Number 10, Kajian Malaysia is also USM. Petanika is UPM. Asia Pacific Journal of Innovation, Hospitality, Tourism is TELUS, called TELUS University. Asian Journal of Business Research is actually under Max Scholar, right? And then the last one here, Malaysian Journal of Consumer Family Economics. This one, I think, is under one association also, right? The journal that very much that you can look into if you look into publication, especially this one in Malaysia. And this is the summary of all the 14 journals that I'm talking about just now, in terms of the site score and the publisher. Yeah, this is for the, as I told you just now, the last one there is under Kuala Lumpur Malaysian Consumer Association, right? I think it's about all that I can share for time being. Thank you very much. I'm glad that I have the opportunity of this one. I hope there will be more maybe question or some queries that you want to know on this one, right? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you Dr. Ivan. Ada soalan daripada para peserta? Boleh terus tanya.
Boleh.
Okay, sementara tunggu soalan, slides, copy of the slides ni boleh access dekat bahagian hujung sebelah kiri Google Meet punya button bawah. Tekan arrow ke atas and akan nampak ada attachment kat situ.
Oh, there's a lot of you here.
Okay, ini soalan daripada peserta. Peserta tanya, setelah ambil masa untuk pilih journal, the right journal, tapi ada challenge ialah rejection. Macam mana nak handle rejection?
Macam yang saya katakan tadi ataupun yang saya share tadi, rejection is actually part of our academic journey lah. I would say that rejection is part of our academic journey. You send a paper, it's been rejected. As I told you, tak apa, boleh rasa sedih. Kalau nak menangis, tak apa juga, boleh juga. Alright, it's not a problem, but don't stay there for too long. Don't stay at that particular state for too long. Rejection, my slide just now, I say get used to that, but sometimes don't really get used to that, but you have to move forward, improve. Kalau journal itu ada suggest apa perlu di-improve, good. Kalau tak ada pun good juga. We can try others, right? Certainly you can try others, but do not give up. Come back stronger. Always come back stronger. Come back stronger so that you can have this kind of information again. Come back stronger. That's my advice.
Just to share lah with you, Dr. Iwan.
Yes.
Masa saya buat PhD dulu, I used to send my paper to Q1 journal dulu lah, because I just want to have their feedbacks, and then
Yes.
I will use all of their feedbacks, and then I will work on my PhD balik lah, and then that paper I will submit to other journals lah, but I always go for the Q1 first, and then I'm really waiting for their constructive feedback lah, and I never feel negative or demotivated with their comments, because I look on the brighter sides. At least they are helping me out in terms of identifying what areas that I'm lacking at, and then which areas that I need to improve on. So that's how I work on my PhD lah, the last time lah.
Yeah. How about now?
Now, if they reject me, I just find another journal lah, kan? It's like it's normal thing already.
Yeah, that's true. I do that from time to time also. I do that from time to time. So I would say that you have to get used to that sometimes. Most of the journal, if you send, they will send you the feedback. Most of the journal, not all, most of the journal, right? Or some just do not pass the editor board. The editor test, and then you straight away get rejected. So sometimes also you get that, but it's okay. For me, I still get rejection until now. I never been perfect. Get rejection. Send today, besok kena reject. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, sebab since ada yang cakap tak tampak slides, saya share saya punya Windows sekejap Boleh kan doktor? Sekejap je.
Boleh. Sebab saya dah tutup slide saya.
Okay. Kepada semua, kat mana nak cari slides? Nampak kan skrin saya? Okay, nampak ke? Okay,
Okey,
slide.
nampak.
Okay, slide saja kat bawah ni, dekat ujung publication, game, journey and equilibrium ni, tekan, ambil kat bahagian attachment. So download je kat sini. Jumpa tak? Okay, dia dekat bahagian meeting details bawah sebelah kiri hujung. Okay, yang mana tak ada attachment tu mungkin bukan daripada UiTM. So nanti saya share, saya emailkan. Yang mana bukan daripada UiTM sebab yang ni dia dalam kalender UiTM. Okay, sementara tu saya ucapkan terima kasih pada Profesor Syafinar yang sudi meluangkan masa petang ni. And ada Prof nak cakap apa-apa ke?
Welcome, Dr. Iban. Thank you very much for accepting the invitation. So, saya session lah sebab kan we are running out of time, takut ada banyak soalan kan. Terima kasih for coming to ITM Melaka virtually.
Right, ada lagi soalan? Boleh tanya ataupun ada sharing ke yang kita boleh share bersama?
Kalau tak ada, saya tanya satu lagi boleh?
Boleh.
Saya just nak tahu Dr. Evan, macam sekarang ni kan kita tengok in terms of the listing dalam Scopus tu between Q1 to Q2 and then they go down to Q4. Saya just sebab saya tak tahu kan, maybe if you know lah, maybe you could share what criteria that the Scopus is using actually in terms of determining the Q level for each of the journal ni, because last month saya baru submit dia Q1 and then tadi saya buka dalam last week rupanya dia dah jatuh ke Q4. So saya pun I was just like wondering kan, maybe if you know the answers or yes, please do.
Okay. Ya, saya cuba yang ini. Yang ini setahu saya because I'm taking care of this IJBS, so we are very concerned about this part also, about the Q, because most of the university, not most, all the university in Malaysia are concerned about Q. Certain university mungkin meletakkan KPI dia kena publish dalam Q1 saja ataupun Q2 ataupun Q1, Q2 kalau tak boleh jadi profesor ke, ada requirement ke. I mean, certain universities do that, but you can agree that all universities in Malaysia now talks about Q. The Q are coming back. And as you share just now, Dr. Ahmad, we as far as I concern, Scopus look at citation to determine the Q. Sama juga macam Web of Science. Sama juga macam Web of Science ataupun dipanggil sebagai Clarivet now to determine the impact factor. Dia macam stock market lah. Tahun ini dia naik, mungkin tahun depan dia turun, lepas tu tahun depan dia lagi dia naik, based on citation. Based on the citation of how they calculate. So that's why the numbers of the site score there, site score itu adalah Scopus punya, itu adalah penting juga. Mungkin yang doktor katakan tadi, last week the Q1, kenapa minggu ini jadi di Q4? Sebab Scopus baru saja release dia punya data, I think yesterday, tentang the latest Q. Yesterday. So that's why dia naik turun lah, dia punya stock market tu, the market naik turun and based on citation. When I say citation di atas dan di bawah dia adalah total numbers of publication. For example, untuk 3 tahun, total numbers of publication, total citation for that particular journal in Scopus, di dalam Scopus. Di dalam Scopus. So Untuk Web of Science, kita kena dapatkan citation dalam Web of Science. Untuk corpus kena dapatkan citation di dalam Scopus sendiri. So it's not an easy job to manage a journal.
Right.
This perspective of that. Right. Thank you very much.
Alright, thank you. Because I was a bit down actually because last week bila submit kita, I was so eager Q1 and then kita tengok dia dah lepas dia punya dah masuk dekat reviewing punya board. So and then tadi saya buka tengok balik and then saja search dalam Skimago tu bila tengok dia jadi Q4.
Yeah.
So I was quite like because I was expecting that ada tendency dapat publish dekat Q1 and then suddenly move to Q4. But anyway, what can we do kan? Anyway, thank you so much, Dr. Ivan. I really appreciate your answers. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Terima kasih Dr. Fadli. Dr. Ivan ada satu soalan dekat bahagian chat. Saya bacakan dia.
Ya, bacakan.
Soalan daripada Dr. Nabila Azwa Ambat. Dia kata dia kecewa pasal rejection tapi jenuh nak tunggu respons. Boleh doktor recommend mana-mana jurnal yang agak cepat respons dia within 6 months bidang business and management?
Itu saya pun ini nama agak familiar. I think pernah publish hantar untuk IJBS kot kan Dr. Nabila. Anyhow, kalau nak saya recommend untuk agak cepat respon dia, depending 6 months, ada banyak jurnal di Malaysia yang di dalam bidang tadi yang saya bagi senarai tu 14 tu, itu mungkin tak ada dalam slide sebab saya baru buat pagi tadi sebab listing tu baru keluar yang terbaru. So ada 14 jurnal tu, you can try that other journal. Some of the journal takes about 6 months. Some of the journal takes a little bit longer. You can try the journal. Itu yang saya boleh recommend. Kalau nak recommend satu-satu nama dia saya tak tu sangat. Tapi di Malaysia ni kita I think we are how to say that, in Malaysia at least we have more option of journal in economics, business, finance, accountancy and all those related fields, social science yang ada di dalam Scopus. Right, di Malaysia kita at least ada dalam, tadi saya kira-kira ada dalam 15 ataupun ada 15 jurnal termasuk jurnal IJBS, ada 15 jurnal di dalam Scopus yang boleh kita cuba, termasuk kajian Malaysia, termasuk a few more other journals actually, Malaysia Science Malaysiana UKM, which is the impact factor journal. Banyak jurnal yang boleh kita cuba di Malaysia. Kalau di Indonesia, for Indonesian, I quite pity them also in the sense as because in Indonesia setahu saya hanya ada satu jurnal yang di dalam Scopus, iaitu Gajah Mada yang dipunyai oleh Universitas Gajah Mada. Yang lain-lainnya semua bukan Scopus journal di dalam our field lah, in the field, not di dalam our field, in the field of mine. So ada jurnal all the sciences journal, but Malaysia kita ada dalam lingkungan begitu, dalam 15 lebih kurangnya. Sekarang semakin banyak. Dulunya 2-3 tahun lepas hanya ada 10 journals. Now we have more than that. Right? So we have more option. Okay? You can try that, but other journal also, Dr. Nabila. Yeah. Oh, that's why I know your name, Dr. Nabila, because you published before in IJBS. The names sounds familiar. Right. Ada soalan lain? Boleh tanya.
Doktor, ni soalan daripada peserta.
Ya.
Doktor adalah managing editor untuk jurnal. Boleh nyatakan tak apa kriteria ataupun apa yang menyebabkan satu-satu paper tu di-reject?
Tadi saya bagi dalam slide tadi ada those are the general rules lah. Why the paper rejected? First, certainly not only me, our team, we look when the paper come in, we will look at the paper in the team. Not necessarily face to face. Kalau dalam masa ini kita tengok secara email, online, WhatsApp dan semua jenis communication that kita boleh buat, dan kita tengok paper tu dan kita first look of the paper. First thing that we look in, certainly all the editors look at that, they skim through. First thing they look in certainly the title. Kalau title sudah tak interesting, like apa title nak cakap, then they look into the abstract. Right? Kalau abstract itu macam our sneak preview lah, our sneak preview di macam kita tengok movie kan, sneak preview untuk 2 minit tu, 1 minit setengah tu, that is the most important part, the abstract. Kalau abstract 100 hingga 200 perkataan tu tidak mempunyai journal editor terus letak tepi. Terus letak tepi, kita KIV dulu paper ni. Yang interesting kita letak sini satu tempat dan so on, for further review and so on. Right, there's reject and so on. So the interesting part of the research, it can be a very old issue, tetapi the interesting part is make the paper more for us, more appeal for us. Right, that one I can that's something I can share with you. Thank you.
Okay, Doktor, ada satu soalan daripada Encik Samsul.
Aha, boleh.
Some journal nak kita cite paper dalam journal dia. It's good if we cited siap-siap paper dalam journal tu? Soalan dia.
Itu certain, I think journal do that. Some journal editors do that. When you submit, then lepas itu dia review, lepas itu dia kata paper accepted ke, lepas itu dia kata please cite few papers from our journal. Right? That's one way. Before the editor asks you, you already cite the journal to show that your paper is relevant for that particular field. It can go both way. It can go a positive way. Sometimes it can go a negative way. Right? It can go a negative way in the sense that mungkin dia kata, oh, ini sudah ada orang banyak publish ni, including in our journal. Then the editor will say, we will not take this kind of paper anymore. So it depends on the editor, on the team itself sometimes, right? On the editorial team itself. But if you ask me, I would suggest you to cite the journal that you might want to send, to maybe increase a little bit the possibility of having the paper at least go through the review process. Right? Thank you. Ada lagi soalan?
Soalan daripada Dr. Nabila. Soalannya mengenai topik trend. Topik pula, trend sekarang penulis suka letak tajuk yang catchy. Adakah ia membantu untuk diterima?
Yeah, sometimes dia membantu. Especially some topic that is catchy. So at least it catch the eye of the editor first. Lepas tu editor akan baca introduction, maybe tak interesting. Topik saja interesting, tetapi dia punya jalan cerita dia mungkin tak interesting, right? So tapi at least it catch the eye of the editor first. I would say that at least it catch the eye, but make sure the article itself, the write-up itself is also good enough, not just the title, right? Ada authors kadang-kadang, ini experience juga dalam sebagai manager editor, ada authors suka tulis title sampai 3 sentence, 4 sentence. The factor affecting, semua factor dia list down. Sometimes, most of the time, I think the editor would not really prefer you to have a very long title. That's why certain publisher, certain journal have a limit of the title, limit words of the title. We do not have that, but certain journal have that. So, please be aware of that also. Right?
Doktor, ada satu lagi soalan daripada Dr. Asmalia Cik Ahmad. Ada tips untuk jurnal dapat index my site?
Ini kena buat webinar yang lain ni.
Rasanya editor. Ini daripada UiTM Perak ni saya rasa.
Ini kena buat webinar lain ni, untuk sharing pula untuk my site, what's the criteria. Tapi apa yang saya boleh sharing as a general thing here is that my site sendiri dia ada kriteria dia. Dia ada kriteria untuk masuk my site dan kriterianya tidak berbeza jauh dengan Scopus. Scopus ada kriteria dia sendiri. One of the main criteria yang kita tak boleh lari, mana-mana satu jurnal dekat dunia ni tak boleh lari ialah citation. Satu, Yang nombor dua dia selalunya even my site, Scopus, Web of Science, they will look into your internationalization of the authors. Maksudnya siapa yang publish dalam jurnal tu. Kalau jurnal tu dipunyai oleh, for example, dipunyai oleh Universiti Malaysia Sarawak, berapa peratus daripada Unimas yang publish dalam tu, berapa peratus lain, berapa peratus from outside Malaysia. Itu yang dia look at. Not only my site but others. These are two important criteria: citation, the papers that inside there. Okay? Sikit saja boleh share lah. Nak tahu lebih banyak, kita buat satu lagi webinar.
Doctor, maybe one last question from me lah.
Boleh.
What's your own personal opinion with regards to self-citation, self-referencing in our own paper, for example? And how do your journal look at this issue? Do you really concerned about authors who are publishing in your journal and they are using their self-citation in their papers?
This one I think have for me, I look at that this one journal self-cited. Scopus, Web of Science also look at that very seriously. Self-citation, I think they have the threshold for the self-citation. I forget the numbers. They have the threshold for self-citation. If the threshold above that if the journal have a above threshold of the self-cited, you might be delisted from Scopus or Web of Science. I mean, from the impact factor. This is the game that we're playing. The not too much self-citation means that, like just now, soalan tentang journal editor suruh cite journal itu pun bahaya juga. Sama juga macam author cite dia sendiri. But not too much of for our part of IJBS, we do not stop the authors to cite themselves. We do not stop for cite themselves. But from my personal idea, personal view is that kalau reference kita ada 20 dalam reference. Kalau 10 adalah paper kita sendiri, dia nampak agak questionable lah, the research.
Yang tu saya setuju. Kalau satu is acceptable lah.
Acceptable lah. Depending on the threshold lah. Depending on the threshold. Kalau ada 20, separuh daripada itu paper kita sendiri. Itu macam kan?
Alright. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yes.
Okay, ada soalan lain?
Ada soalan lain tak? Boleh terima soalan. Wife. Ramai juga yang kenal dalam sini .
Ada soalan? Doktor nak saya share ke results yang tadi
Boleh. Sebab saya nak share tapi saya lupa password saya dalam Mentimeter pula. Apa ni? Apa password saya? Tapi apa pun yang tadi yang saya buat, poll yang saya buat tadi under Mentimeter, live poll ada 21 yang menjawab, mungkin boleh jawab lepas ini juga. Most of you jawab that why do we publish is because share knowledge for KPI, job requirement, learn to become an expert, and amanah tugas pensyarah. Good. That's what's supposed to be. Ada. Terima kasih sharing ni. Afni. Ini result tadi daripada keputusan daripada poll, live poll tadi. Mungkin yang lain kalau nak cuba boleh juga lepas ini. Kalau tidak pun tak apa. At least saya dapat sedikit data daripada apa yang kita buat tadi. Right? Ada lagi soalan last? 2 soalan, 3 soalan pun tak apa.
Ada soalan?
Ya, kalau malu nak bertanya nanti tak apa, boleh juga email saya.
Okey, doktor, kita dah sampai ke penghujung pukul 3. So kalau sesiapa yang ada soalan, Dr. Fadli kata dia nak looking forward to publish in your journal, Doktor.
Okay, no, kita tak pernah tahan orang untuk hantar pada jurnal kita, tapi satu yang saya nak katakan ialah sometimes we take a little bit longer time is because submission tu agak tinggi sekarang in a year. We receive, ini promote jurnal sedikit sorry ambil masa seminit macam itu. Kita submission sometimes sampai 700 in a year dan kita hanya dapat publish dalam maksimum pun 100 paper saja in a year. So itu kekangan kita. Kita tak boleh publish banyak-banyak sampai 1,000 or something lah. We not yet up to that yet. Our capacity not yet. Right? Thank you very much.
Okay, dengan ini kita tamatkan kita punya bengkel hari ini. Okay, so nanti video yang direkod ni saya akan upload dekat YouTube. So boleh subscribe PJI UiTM Melaka punya YouTube channel. And thank you pada Prof Syafina sebab support pada petang ni. And thank you pada Dr. Ivan sebab luangkan masa and share pengalaman, knowledge semua. And thank you kepada semua para peserta, tunggu sampai penghujung and tolong jawab soalan, jam latihan dan juga maklum balas bengkel. Dengan ini kita berhenti sampai sini saja. Terima kasih Doktor.
Okay. Terima kasih Prof. Safina juga. Terima kasih Afni. Terima kasih semua. Semoga kita
jumpa. See you soon.
Ya. Teruskan MCO, research and more collaborative opportunity.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.